Hey, what's up, man? I'm in the shade. Uh, Packing some soccer. Um, Sitting here. Um, I live in Detroit, man. It's a third world city. It's a third world city, and I live on the southwest side, so Clark Park is accessible to me. This is Mexican town where I'm at. It's cool. The Mexican bakery is across the bridge, but man, some of these homeless people. I used to be a shelter service provider, a resident specialist at one of these shelters. Hey, man. Hey, for real. The United States let in a guy with Ebola from Africa. Tried to cure him. They took all the precautions necessary. But man, I live here. A citizen of the United States, man. It's a more serious problem with disease and mortality with the homeless and with the homeless people, man. They and the prostitutes. They spreading diseases, man. I just came across a few people just walking past them. Violently, immune system was attacked by, these people who are not changing their clothes, defecating on themselves, not cleaning themselves up, not using sanitary napkins, man. Hillbilly stuff like my, old grandfather was telling me about hillbillies, man, back in his time, man, about dysentery and stuff like that, man. It's not even in the books, man, anymore. So, it's terrible here, man, especially down where I live at, man. It's terrible, man. These prostitutes and, whatever, man, defecating on the street and, all that, semen or whatever, they getting rid of it, out in the smell, making the place smell real bad. They spreading disease, they spreading STDs, herpes, HIV, and AIDS, man. Tuberculosis too, man. They spreading tuberculosis. Some of these people where I stay at, man, they're cutting on the gas, man. They cutting on the gas, man, and letting the place fill up, man. They got some kind of mental problem or whatever, or want to kill people or whatever, man. I can't believe it, man. I can't believe it, man. Where I stay at, it's like a racetrack, man. They put out much pollution they can and dust they can in the neighborhood. You cannot even, walk down the street or take a morning jog or exercise routine. Like I want to, walk down the street every day, man, and get some exercise and ride my bike, man. My bike been vandalized, man. That's why I haven't rode it, man. I have to buy a tire because somebody gave me a slow leak. I know I didn't give myself a slow leak. Somebody gave me a slow leak because I seen somebody messing with my bike and just walked off, man. Didn't want to go up there and run and start swinging on them or whatever, man. But, Detroit, man, it's terrible. I wouldn't even want to stay here, man. So, got a little history. People ain't from here, man. My father moved here. He brought, a lot of people. His relative. He brought my mother, his wife, and her people, and their husbands and wives up here. They decided to stay. He decided to move because all the shady businesses was going on in Detroit. what he told me about. I couldn't believe some of the stuff. Stayed here, believed it, man. Kwame Kilpatrick. Where I read a Mary Young book, man. Detroit. It's not even a reference book. They took it off the shelves, man. It was a popular selling book. Took it off. I mean, he was the most popular mayor in city history. These, white people hated him across 8 Mile and Detroit, man. Especially Hamtramck, man. Hamtramck is Ku Klux Klan City, flat out, man. What the book said he had to do to fight the UAW and the unions in Detroit, he had to go to Lansing and get support in the House of Representatives, Michigan House of Representatives, before he became mayor of Detroit. He had to have power in Lansing before he became mayor of Detroit. When he became mayor of Detroit, he started getting stuff passed and stuff moved in Detroit because he had to fight the people from 8 Mile and Hamtramck. So he got stuff done, and they hated Mayor Young because he was getting stuff done for the city. A black person to get something done for the city, man. So, father, he seen the shady business. He was up here before, the riots, man. He told me what happened was, it was like a barroom fight that happened in the riots, man. It was a barroom fight, and then it escalated into a riot. So, I looked at the city of Detroit, and it was something different, man. But that was the word on the street back in his day. It was like a barroom fight escalated out in the street and turned into a riot. So, there's a lot of stuff, man, in Detroit, man. Racism, man, it's run rampant, man. Went to these security guards, man. I mean, some of these security guards are not getting tested regularly, man, for drug tests, man. I smell marijuana on them. And I don't know if the supervisor or whatever come by and check them out, man. But they smell like marijuana. They need to be tested every 3 months or every 6 months to see, if they got marijuana, man, or crack, whatever, man. So, the pollution is terrible in Detroit, man. I mean, in my area, man, I call them, deliverance, man. I mean, these people, I'll let you know, my people, my relatives is a product of desegregation. Most of my people from down south got high school diplomas. What they was telling me, deep south and in the south, man, in major south cities, when desegregation started, they were sending kids to schools, in black schools, that was doing good, man. They was improving their scores. They was sending retard kids, busing kids that, was doing terrible, man. Grades was not even that high, man. Busing them to black schools that, grades was going up to stop their growth, man. I couldn't believe that. Soon as they told me that, they said, who was the retards, who was hanging with the retards, man. Started making the school, class clown, felon, and everything. Want to help them out, then they help their own people out. So let you know what desegregation was looking like, man. I was up here and I seen what desegregation. I couldn't believe it, man. Living on the southwest side, seeing desegregation, what they was telling me what desegregation was looking like. I couldn't believe it, man. I seen it, couldn't believe it, man. I was like, damn. Anybody come up to you saying, "What's up, homeboy?" or "What's up, girlfriend?" That set off a warning signal. set me off a warning signal, period, man. Just looked at him and, couldn't believe it, man. So, couldn't believe it. But anyway, I'm just saying, I had a good time. This is the best, the air pollution been, man, for over maybe a month. So out here, with my soccer ball, running around, practice some footwork. Like that, soccer, man. Like that Jenga style by Pele, man. Remember him in the New York Galaxy. He was, tearing it up in the, I think it's the North American Soccer League or Football League, whatever it was. But back then in the New York Galaxy. I like that. He was, I give it to him. Much props. Like that Jenga style. 1968 or no, 1967. I think it was 1968 when Brazil, not even favorite, won the World Cup. So brung that Jenga style to Brazil. And Neymar, love you, man. Peace, love you, love your style, love that the moves you brought to soccer, man, love it. So caught the fever, peace. I got Brazil, I got Colombia, and I got Jamaica, man. So peace to soccer, love soccer. Favorite basketball player, Russell Westbrook, man. He's the best point guard in the league, man. No question, man. I don't think Stephen Curry is a shooting guard playing point guard. Mr. Russell Westbrook is a point guard above any point guard. Can score, triple-double, do it all, man. Play defense. Anything you ask for, Russell Westbrook can provide. So, peace. Love the Oklahoma Thunder. Think you need a big man who can shoot, man. Not as like Durant, but somebody close to it. Think I can win a world, a championship. Peace.